Okay, so we're just out of the high-level meeting. This was the first time in the history of water and sanitation that you had ministers of finance from developing countries, water ministers and donor ministers coming round together and talking about the crisis in water and sanitation. And this was a critically important meeting because out of that came an agreement that water and sanitation is vital to health, development, economic growth, and getting girls into primary school education. So achieving all of the MDGs is critically dependent on the success and progress we're making in water and sanitation. This was the first meeting of that type. And let me just show you where we had the meeting. So if we track around here, Steve, over there's a building. You can't really see it very well, but it's the World Bank, and the World Bank is incredibly influential in deciding development policy in developing countries. So to get that meeting, we only got that meeting because of the campaigning efforts of literally tens of thousands of people across the world who collectively agreed that enough was enough, that the time for addressing the water and sanitation crisis was now. The time for worthy expressions of concern, hand-wringing, was over. It was now time for action. And we got commitments for action from developing countries to increase expenditure, increase the priority given particularly to sanitation, and we got a commitment from donor countries for increased partnership, increased attention given to water and sanitation in health and education strategies. This was the first meeting of many. But it was a critically important first start because it was high level and it was senior. And again, the only reason we got that meeting was because of the brilliant campaigning efforts of tens of thousands of people across the world, but also over 1 million who signed the End Water Poverty petition online. Now I'm just going to show you one last effort. Again, Steve, come around here. And in the distance there you can see the Capitol building in Washington. And of course there, about a year ago, President Obama, in his inaugural address, stood out and looked across this expansive mile at 1 million people, and he promised to let the clean waters flow in Africa. And I think today we have made a critical first start to getting water and sanitation for all.